Today I think we'll take out one of the bit holders and show you how that's done, and maybe we'll switch out bits. So you have to release the belt. Now this belt is normally, to release the belt you just undo this spring here, but this belt has stretched, or it's a little bit too small, so we put these shims in here to tighten the belt enough. Anyway, we got to take the belt off, so we take the shims out, release that so there's a little bit more space. You can see the little pin here with the spring on it. Kind of release that to release the belt, and it's just be on that spring tension. But so we need I keep all the wrenches in here that we need for this machine. Up here there's 9/16 speed bit which holds this on. You just gotta loosen that. One thing we gotta do before you be able to take this out, we gotta make sure there's no dust on this shaft that moves it up and down. Because years ago, people never blew this out and they started moving it up and down, and all those that dust and wood shavings is stuck in there and it could jam the shaft. So I always make sure you blow this off. In order for this to come out of here, that screw has to pretty much be, you can feel up here, level with it. Crank it up until it's about level there. And then it should be enough. Yeah, then I gotta loosen this up. And it'll come out. And now, if you want to change router bits, you really have to pull this out. There's no way of tightening on in there. I want to take this router bit out. You need, I think it's a 7/8 right here. Yeah, 7/8, an inch and an eighth. Let me just lay that down on the surface and push. That takes your bit out. Now, if you, I like to use 1/2 inch shank bits in here because I think they hold better. But if you had a 1/4 inch shank bit, you would have to put oh, here they are. You'd have to put one of these
spacer.
Yeah. Put that in there, and then put your 1/4 inch in.
And also make sure if you're using a 1/4 inch bit, you're not taking off a lot of material, because you don't want to put tremendous pressure on that either.
Yeah, the 1/2 inch holds better in here, because here you have this and this holding the bit in there. You have to really tighten it well. Just beware. I've had a move on me with this before, so I don't like use them as much, but you can. There's a couple of them in here. One of them was, I think, a little bit better than the other.
This is not sorry.
But there are a few of them in here. All right, now this same spindle we could also put, where did they go? Here. We could either put a 1/2 inch shaft on it for 1/2 inch diameter, or 3/4. I'm going to put this on so we could So we need to unscrew this. This is the other end of this wrench. It's a 5/8. On there tight. And this will come out. And you'll have to take someone tighten that. I don't like to tighten it that much. You need to get a pair of pliers. Usually I got it. Usually I just hand tighten that, so I got it loose. It was just a little bit tight. And so this will go on this one. Screw that in there a little bit. Now, all these shafts have a little notch in them. See that little notch? That was supposed to go in a little button in here, and someone put this in wrong years ago and smashed that little button, but it still makes a little bump. If you don't put that notch over that bump, this thing gets out of balance. It doesn't run right. It doesn't index real easily, but make sure that that little notch is right where that, you see that little round circle in there? There's a little round circle in there, or it was like a little index pin. But just make sure that goes over that. And I'll get these pulleys lined up with each other. And then we'll snug this. This doesn't have to be tremendously tight, just a little snug. And then the belt goes back on. I'm going to put it on the top two, the top pulleys. That's a faster speed. The bottom two pulleys you use for the big wing cutters, for those the panel raised those big panel bits. Yeah, these have to run at a slower speed. Alright, tighten that screw. And I'll put these back in. Give it a little tension on the belt, and then we're good to go. And of course, this switch down here controls which direction we're going in. Right now I think it's spinning this way. Yeah. Let me move this out of the way here. I think this, that one's gonna be, crank this down a little bit. Jump shuttle getting it out of there. I think this is gonna be in our way. Okay. Now we're ready to put a bit on here. Now all these shafts have a special keyed washer. That's the last thing you put on the shaft before you tighten it down, and supposedly if this loosens up, this is supposed to jam so the bit doesn't fly off. And then so we can put any bit on that that has a 3/4 diameter shaft. We'll just stick one on here for fun of it. And then we have extra so you're not doing a lot of having to crank the nut up and down a lot. You know, you could use any of these spacers on the shaft. Actually might raise the bit up a little bit. I could lower the shaft some more. There we go.
You can flip them around any way as long as you got the rotation going right.
What, these?
Bit.
The bit, yeah. Now that bit, you know, I have it like that. Whoops. We can put this on upside down. Some ways, you know, that might be better depending on what you're cutting or where the cut has to go. But now the bit's the knife's facing in this direction, so you'd have to change the direction that the shaper is cutting in. So you can put that thing on either way. So the keyed washer goes on, and then there it goes. Yeah, don't try to force that, it should go on easily. This is where we need these 2 wrenches. Yeah, these are wrenches that came with this. One goes on the nut, and one goes on the shaft. I usually like to put them like this, and all you gotta do is squeeze them. And if you want to loosen it, you put this on the other side and squeeze it, and it'll loosen it. Slipping off. Where am I at here? There we go. There. That's tightening.
Always get that messed up.
What's that?
Always.
Put that the other direction, and it's loosening. Depends on what side you put the wrench on the nut, you're either tightening or loosening. Squeeze that. We're good. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to cut. Maybe I'll run a board through here real quick.
It's 20 minutes, Tim.
Is it 20 minutes?
All right, well,
To be continued.